Girl, I just want to say, grab yourself some lunch, some dinner, some snacks, because this is going to be a long video. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be my foundation collection kind of review video, and I just want to say, a little disclaimer here. I'm aware that this is a lot of foundations, like way too many foundations for any human being, but with that being said, I have a makeup addiction. I do makeup on the side for weddings and things like that, so I like to have a lot of foundations. And here we go. My channel's all about makeup, so I'm always buying new makeup on the market, testing it out for you guys. So before we get into this, I know this is a lot of foundation, so I'm going to talk about my favorites towards the end. So without further ado, if you guys want to see this really extremely long video talking about all of my foundations that I own, let's just jump right in. So I think I'm going to make this a series on my channel, and I'm going to go through all of my makeup. Like I'm going to do my concealer collection, my bronzer collection, which isn't that many, blush, maybe I'll do like blush and bronzers in one, my highlight collection, things like that. Let me know if you guys want me to keep this kind of a series. So I'm going to try to cover all drugstore foundations first, and then we'll get into high-end. So let's start off with this. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. This I have in 3 different colors. Actually, I think I might have it in 4. I have it in Nude Ivory, which is way too light for me, but I like to have this for when I don't have a self-tan, and I could just mix it to lighten a foundation. I also have it in Bronze Beige, and I have it in Buff Bisque. I have it in Golden, there's another one I have, I know. It's called Golden something, but, oh, don't drop them. These little guys are so good. They're so affordable, and this is probably one of my all-time favorites from the drugstore. It is so good. It applies really nice with a beauty blender or a brush, in my opinion. And I just think it makes you look flawless, but it doesn't look cakey. It has a really nice kind of natural finish to it. This is my favorite foundation from the drugstore, I would have to say. It is so good. I keep this in my collection at all times. I make sure I have all colors. That's why I have, well, I really have 4. I just don't know where the 4th one was. Next up for drugstore, we have a L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation. This foundation is really nice. I actually really enjoyed this. I haven't pulled for it in a while just because I've been trying a bunch of new foundations out, but I will say that this is probably one of my favorite cushion foundations I've tried. I know there's another cushion foundation, I think from Maybelline, that everyone is loving, which I want to try that one too, but I do really like this. This is that perfect kind of finish where you don't want to look overly done up, but you still want to look like you have some coverage. This will definitely give you that. If you're someone that doesn't like the feeling of makeup on your skin, I think you would like this because it's very lightweight feeling. Alright, next up we have this CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. This is newer to my collection and definitely my top 5 favorite from the drugstore. I love this foundation so much. It just makes your skin look so good. I will link up here a video of me trying it out. I'm in the color Buff Beige. I think it's just such a good foundation, especially from the drugstore. Like, I've been noticing a lot of drugstore foundations beat high-end foundations like out of the park. It's crazy to me, but this one is really good. I think it's such a good foundation for someone that either has oily skin or dry skin. I feel like it's not going to look super drying or anything on dry skin, and I think for oily skin, I feel like it would control the oil. So I really like this foundation. Alright, so next up we have the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I thought I had another color in this one as well. These foundations are so good. These are so freaking good. I know I'm missing a cap over here. There's gonna be a lot of missing caps in this video. Just warning you. This has such good coverage, and the lasting power is amazing. I feel like this one probably, this and the Wet n Wild and actually the CoverGirl one do last a really long time on my skin. And I have the colors here, Creamy Vanilla and Warm Beige. I like to mix the two to get my perfect shade. As you can see, when I really like a foundation, I have more than one of it, just to make sure that whatever skin tone I am, it's going to match me. This is definitely on the thicker side, so I don't know if you guys will be able to tell here, but it's definitely thicker, like it's not drooping at all. It's staying right there. Definitely is thicker consistency, but sometimes if I'm feeling not as thick of a foundation formula, I will mix in some kind of oil with this to make it easier to blend out. But if I'm feeling like that full coverage vibe, I definitely always grab for this one because it does have that really nice full coverage look to your skin and it just lasts a really long time. So this Milani foundation is so dang good. Next up we have this Sonya Kashuk Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation. Like, do you see this bottle? Like, it's just so beautiful. I love the packaging. It's so stunning. So I know Casey Holmes here on YouTube. She has really oily skin, which I don't, but I usually like a lot of the foundations that she likes. And she was using this for a while in her videos, and I was like, you know what? I just have to go pick it up because she loves it. And I have to say, I have to try this a little bit more. I always forget that it's in my collection because I have so many foundations. I feel like I need to play with this one a little bit more to give you guys like my full review on it. I did like it. It's not that I wore and hated it. I thought it was good, but it wasn't like it didn't blow me away for what I remember, because I feel like if it did, I would have probably used it more. So yeah, I can't give you like my 100% opinion on this, but so far so good. I don't dislike it, so that's good. Alright, so next for foundation we have these LA Girl Pro Coverage foundations. These remind me a lot of the HD foundation from Makeup Forever, which I usually have in my collection, but I actually ran out of it, so I'm definitely going to be repurchasing that one. That is such a good foundation. So this reminds me of like the same packaging. It looks a lot like the Forever HD foundation. And this, I have to say, I did like it. Like I said, again, with the last foundation, it's one of those foundations that I need to try a little bit more. I did like it when I first used it, but I kind of forgot how it works because I haven't used it in a while. And I don't want to steer you guys wrong, so I don't really have much to say about these because I can't remember how they worked. I haven't used it in a while, but it does say it's HD high definition longwear illuminating foundation, and there was a lot of good reviews about this, which is why I purchased it online. Alright, so up next we have the number 7 Lift and Illuminate foundation. This has SPF in it and it's hypoallergenic, so this is what the packaging looks like. This foundation is beautiful. It gives you such a really beautiful skin-like look, if that makes sense. Looks so natural, like you don't have foundation on, but it looks so beautiful. It's not super intense coverage. If you have like a lot of acne scars or acne that you're trying to cover up, I don't know if this is one I would go for. But it really does lift and illuminate in my opinion. Like whenever I wear this, I just feel like my skin looks so pretty and it just feels pretty. Like it doesn't feel like makeup-y or anything, even though it is foundation. It just gives you this really pretty luminosity to your skin, but like not overly dewy, and it just, I can't explain it. This is such a good foundation. The only downside I'd say about this is it's hard to find the correct color because a lot of these have that kind of pinky undertone to them, which I really don't like. It doesn't look well on my undertone. Whenever I put foundation on and it's pinky, it just looks so off. So I like more of like a neutral kind of warmer foundation for my skin tone. So this one is in Warm Beige. So this one I would say is weird. It's more of like, I don't know if you guys will see that right here. It really is not that warm. Like if you look at this foundation next to it, this is Warm Beige, and then this one was the Milani foundation. As you can see, this is much more warm than this one, and this one is labeled as Warm Beige. So that's a little confusing to me because to me, this doesn't really look like a warm beige. It looks more of like a cool beige. And when I do apply it on my skin, I do find myself mixing it with a kind of warmer foundation to give it more of like a warmer undertone. If you could find your color, this is definitely worth a try. Alright, so next up we have 2 of the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Foundation. One has a missing cap, one has the cap. So like I was saying, I usually have more than one shade if I like a foundation, so obviously I like this foundation. This is in nude beige, and then this one is in sand beige. So this one I use more when I'm self-tanned, and this one fits when I don't have a self-tan or if it's like starting to fade away. This foundation, again, such a beautiful foundation from the drugstore. I don't have any like downfalls about this foundation. I think it looks so good on the skin. I find that it doesn't last as long as some of the other ones that I've talked about, but it is a beautiful foundation. Alright, so this next foundation is the, let's see, is this Maybelline? This is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This one is the Dewy and Smooth one. I have two because obviously I like it. This one reminds me a lot of this one. They're kind of like very, very similar. I would say that the Better Skin looks a little bit more like natural. This one is for normal to dry skin, which fits me perfectly. And I have the color nude beige and sandy beige, again, for when I'm tan and when I'm not so tan. And I don't really have anything negative to say about this foundation. I think it's a great foundation. Is it my favorite from the drugstore? No, but it is one of my favorites. That's why I have two of them. I will tell you guys at the end which are like my top 5 from the drugstore and from high-end. Alright, so next for foundations from the drugstore, we have the good old L'Oreal True Match. These are such good foundations. I actually think I'm pretty much out of these. They feel really light. This one is super light in buff beige, and then this one is sand beige in W5. These foundations are really good. Again, why I have two. These foundations are really good at covering your imperfections. If you are looking for a really good everyday kind of foundation, I definitely recommend this one. It's such a good one, and definitely why I have two. Okay, we are almost done with the drugstore foundation. So up next, I have two of these CoverGirl foundations. This one is the Ready Set Gorgeous, and then this one is the Clean Matte. This is actually a BB cream, so I don't even know if I should be talking about this in my video because this is more of like a BB cream, not a foundation, but whatever. So these, honestly, I never reach for. I should probably get rid of them just because I never reach for them. I heard this one's really good, so maybe I should try it more. There's a fly in here. Maybe I should try this one more because I did hear really good things about this. I think I only used it once and I just like never used it again. But I definitely think I'm going to give this one more of a try. And again, this one is probably good to have just to have like a BB cream for when I don't want like a full-on foundation face, but I want to like look put together. So maybe I will keep both of these. I have such a problem with getting rid of stuff. Okay, and then next up we have the Revlon Color Stay Normal to Dry Foundation. This one is just a cult favorite. I mean, everyone knows the Revlon Color Stay is such a good foundation. I feel like you either love or hate this foundation because it can look, if you're not careful, it can look a little cakey. I remember this was like my all-time favorite foundation when I was in high school. This is what I would go through bottles of this foundation. It was such a good foundation back in the day, but now they've kind of came out with such good foundations that I never really pull for this one as much anymore, but it is a cult favorite. And my camera's dying, and we didn't even get into high-end foundations. Okay, and we have two more from the drugstore. Okay, this one is e.l.f. and it is disgusting looking. This foundation, you guys, so good. So freaking good. This one is in the color Porcelain. This one is too light for me right now, so I have another one that is really, really dark and I can't find it anywhere. This foundation is amazing. If you have not tried the e.l.f. foundation, please try it. It looks so good on so many different skin types. It just looks so, so beautiful. I've tried this on friends. I've tried it on family. It's such a good foundation and it looks so much more high-end than it is. This is so affordable. It just blows my mind how good this foundation is for so affordable. Mind blown. And then the last drugstore foundation, this one is, I got online, you can't find it like in the States. It's the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum. I really, really enjoyed this foundation and it's time to get rid of it because I don't even know if there's anything left. Yeah, there's a little bit left in here, but this foundation, I can't even explain it. It just feels so good on the skin. Like it almost feels like you're putting like a moisturizer on, but it has coverage. I really, really like this foundation, and it is a gel foundation, so maybe that's why it gives me that vibe, but it also smells so like pretty. Like it smells like a really nice moisturizer, and I love when foundations have like a nice scent to them. It is in the color Vanilla, which matches me when I'm not really self-tan, so when I have a self-tan, I never really pull for this. But it's such a beautiful foundation. I'm hoping my camera doesn't die before I finish this, but to be honest, I have way more foundations from the drugstore than high-end, but I do only have one of each, so maybe that's why. Okay, let's get into it. All right, the first one that I want to talk about, this is actually not, I don't even know if I should talk about this because it's not really a foundation, it's a CC cream, but it works like a foundation. So this is from IT Cosmetics. It's the Your Skin But Better CC cream. I've talked about this several times on my channel. This is so dang good. It's so good for when you just want to pop on a quick foundation. You can apply this with your hands or a brush, whatever you want. And I have it in medium and light. And this works so good in the summer when I just don't want to put foundation on, but I want to look put together. It does look like a foundation, but for some reason it just seems like quicker to me. And I really, really like this. Definitely will both of these when I run out. The next foundation that I want to talk about is from Clinique. This is the Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. I love this. I love this foundation so much. This is definitely one of my top 5s. You'll hear about that at the end of this video, but definitely one of my top 5 foundations. It is so good. It has this doe foot applicator, and I am in the color Golden Neutral, which is the only thing about this line is a lot of them run very pinky. This is one of the only ones that doesn't have that pinky undertone, but it is a little bit dark, and it is very strongly like yellowy golden. So I usually mix this with something else, or I will use like a lighter concealer on top of this to kind of blend it all. But definitely one of my favorite foundations from high-end. Alright, so next up is the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. This foundation is really good. It's super full coverage. So it does feel like you have foundation on with this foundation for sure. Like whenever I apply this, I can just definitely feel that I have foundation on, which I don't really mind if it looks flawless, but it definitely does have that like thick foundation feeling. Like you know you're wearing foundation. Like you know that you aren't fooling anybody when you have this on. It is super flawless and it looks good, but it can get a little bit cakey in certain areas if you're not careful, but definitely a great foundation for full coverage. If you're looking for something that's super full coverage, this is the one. Okay, next we have the Kat Von D Lock It Foundation. They ain't kidding when they say Lock It Foundation, because girl, your face ain't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. This foundation is so full coverage. Like it could cover a tattoo if you really wanted it to. I only use this when I really have like a lot of breakouts going on, or if I'm really just looking for a really full coverage face. I definitely always grab for this one. It's just a good foundation to have in your collection because you never know when you're gonna break out like crazy and you just wake up and you have like 10 pimples out of nowhere. This is definitely my best friend on those days. Alright, so next we have the Fenty Beauty foundations here. I have a full review on these foundations that I will link up here for you guys because this video is getting so long. So this foundation's really good. I do like it. I've only used it twice or 3 times, and I definitely want to play with it a little bit more to give like my 100% opinion on it because it is newer to me. But I will say that this is a good foundation. Like it worked very well on my skin. It looked really flawless on my skin, and I liked how it felt. It didn't feel super drying, but it definitely did dry down matte. And I really like these. So I'm going to put these more to the test to see like the lasting power and things like that. But I do really like this one so far. Okay guys, this next one I talk about all the time. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I don't have anything negative at all to say about this foundation. It is so freaking good. This is one of my all-time favorites ever. It's so beautiful. It just blends like so seamlessly in the skin. When you use a beauty blender with this, it literally just melts right into the skin, and it just makes you look so flawless, and it lasts for a very long time. Definitely my go-to foundations for my brides. I use this on all of my brides and it looks beautiful on everybody. I love this foundation so much. And I'm in the color Warm Nude. Alright, so let's talk about a couple stick foundations. So I have the Makeup Forever HD stick, and then I have the Hourglass stick. These are both so good. So good. This is just a cult favorite of mine. It's just beautiful. Like when you swipe this onto your face, you do like 3 swipes here, 3 swipes here, a swipe on your forehead. And when you blend this out, it's just like so effortless. It just blends in so easily. Surprisingly, for a stick foundation, you'd think it'd be more work to blend it out, but it's so easy to blend in the skin, and I love the way this looks on my skin. It sits so beautifully. It just melts into the skin. It doesn't look cakey, and it looks so full coverage, and this is such a good foundation if you're taking pictures because it's that HD kind of effect. So definitely love this foundation so much. And then the Hourglass one, oh girl, this one is so good. I don't know what to say. I know this sounds so stupid because I've been saying good things about all these foundations in my collection, but that's why I have them, because I really like them. I always grab this foundation when I just want to feel, I don't want to say expensive, but when I just want to feel like really good about myself, this is the foundation I pull for because it's by Hourglass, and I love their products. They're such a good brand, and it just looks perfect. It looks absolutely perfect on your skin, and it looks so good for brides as well. I don't know what is in this damn stick, but it is magical. Next up, we have a more newer foundation. This is the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Soft Luminous Foundation. This is newer to me, and I've only used it a couple times, so again, I don't really have much to say about it. I did really like it when I tried it, but I have to wear a foundation like 5 times to see like how it's lasting and things like that, because sometimes I forget that I'm trying a new foundation and I forget to check like how my face is doing throughout the day. I really liked this the first time that I did try it, so I'm gonna try it a lot more and see how I like it, but I do really enjoy the finish of it. It looked really pretty, and it did give you like a soft kind of focus effect. And then we have this YSL All Hours foundation. This one is newer as well. I actually bought these both on the same day. So I have to say, this foundation is really good mixed with another foundation that I'm going to talk about in a second. I might as well talk about it right now. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. I think I found my favorite high-end combination ever. These two mixed together, miracle. It's what I have on my skin today, and I put this on my face at 9 o'clock. It is 3:30 right now, and I feel like my face looks like I just did it, and I have not touched up at all. And I put this on at 9 in the morning, and like I said, it's 3:30, so that's hours ago, and it still looks so dang good. And this is called All Hours Foundation for a reason, okay? These two mix, something about it is just flawless. It just blends perfectly, it lasts for such a long time, and I love how it dries down. It doesn't feel super wet. I mean, I do usually set it with a powder, but this combo right here, girl, foolproof. And then my last high-end foundation is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15 Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. Again, a great foundation. I love this foundation so much. I am in the color 2.1. So as you can see, it's kind of more on like the goldeny side, so I like to wear this when I do have a self-tan, and it's just a beautiful foundation. It's not super full coverage, but it's also enough to where you're definitely gonna have coverage. Just a really great high-end foundation that I like to have in my collection. I think it's definitely one that stands out to me. It doesn't feel super heavy on the skin, but it makes your face look really flawless, so I really like this one as well. This is a dang long video. So now I want to talk about my top 5 drugstore and my top 5 high-end. So let's start with high-end. I'm going to choose my top 5 right now. So I'm gonna have to say that my top 5 are these right here. Clinique Beyond Perfecting is in the top 5. The Estee Lauder Double Wear is such a good foundation. Top 5 as well. The Too Faced Born This Way foundation, the YSL foundation, and I'm gonna go with the Hourglass foundation. If I could pick 6, I would pick this one, but this one's just a little bit better than this one, in my opinion. So if I could pick 6, this would be my 6th one, but my top 5 are definitely these ones. All right, in my top 5 from the drugstore is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation, the CoverGirl Healthy Elixir Foundation, the e.l.f. Foundation, and I'm gonna have to say that this number 7 one is in my top 5 as well, because it's a beautiful foundation, so it has to be in my top 5. I hope this video was not super overwhelming and super long. I tried to kind of cram all this information in one video. I could have done like separate drugstore and separate high-end, but I figured I would do it all together. If you guys are still here, leave an emoji down below. Which one should we do? Leave the 2 pink hearts if you guys made it to the end of the video, because I'd be curious to see how many people actually watched the entire video. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys want me to do more like series like this, and I definitely will, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!